there, Danish learner. Welcome back to my channel, Danish Matters. I'm Tina Bakker, your Danish friend and tutor. And if you're new to this channel is about the Danish language and the Danish culture, and also a little bit about the more psychological elements there are when you learn Danish. Now, I was a little bit in doubt about what title to give this video today, but it has to do with learning Danish and vocab learning. And I have made a video a long time ago that was called When Danes Are Speaking Nonsense, and it's gotten a lot of views, so go back and watch that one if you would like to know that Danes are also making mistakes. They're also pronouncing wrong. They're also saying something that is not correct, just like probably you are as a Danish learner. So you can definitely feel safe in that sense, yeah? And in that regard, I just have 3 examples that I would like to mention in the sort of category of Danes are speaking nonsense. It's about words that they use where they should have used another word. One is the word ligeglad, and some people mix it up with ligegyldig. Ligeglad means that you don't care, that you're indifferent. For example, if someone asks you if you would like something to drink, what would you like to drink? And you say, jeg er ligeglad. Det er lige meget. You could also say that. Det er lige meget. But here, jeg er ligeglad, one word. You can also say, det er ligegyldigt, but that is not you who are that. It's it that is that. Yeah? Det er ligegyldigt. And it means something like, it's not important. It's sort of the same idea. So you can be ligeglad. Jeg er ligeglad. But you can't be ligegyldig. Only a case, a matter, a person can be ligegyldig, but it's a feeling that you can have. Jeg føler mig ligegyldig, like I don't matter to someone. Or you can say that about someone else. Den person er ligegyldig. That person doesn't matter. You could say that, but you just can't use them at the same time or switch them out one for the other. The other one that I have is misundelig and jaloux. Misundelig means to be envious, and jaloux, I think you can hear that, comes from French. We only have there's the masculine version of that word in the Danish language, jaloux. We don't have the female jalouse. We don't have that one. And people kind of use them like one or the other, but that's not correct. So misundelig really means to be envious. That is, you can be misundelig if there is something that you would like to have that someone else has. It could be, I don't know, a car or a job, or that someone is going traveling to a place where you would like to go. Then you are misundelig, you're envious. If you are jaloux, that is, if you're jealous, it has to do with relations. It could be that you are jaloux at a person because they get promoted, or they have a partner that you would like to have, or just that they have a partner because you don't have a partner. Or like, it has to do with relations and relationships, or that someone likes you, or something like that. Yeah, then you are jaloux. So misundelig is more about things and like concepts. I don't know, traveling is a concept. That was just one example that I made. And jaloux has to do with more like people kind of relationships, yeah? Then there is ligge and lægge. And yes, this one is one that you will come across in your Danish learning material for sure, yeah? Or you will be corrected if you write little texts or little essays that you have to hand in to your Danish teacher, definitely. Danes make this mistake as well, just like you might. Yeah, and Danes haven't learned the use of this. Yeah, they don't know. So I'm going to give you a rule. Yeah, I'm going to use Danish words for the rule, but I'm going to explain those words. Yeah, so ligge is spelled with an I, L-I-G-G-E. And lægge is spelled with an æ, like æble, L-æ-G-G-E, so L-A-G-G-E, yeah? And ligge has to do with something that is lying still. Still in Danish is called stille, and although I say e, stille as the vowel, it's spelled with an I. Yeah, it's spelled with an I. And I know that this is a little because it has to do with vowel syncing in our pronunciation. If you're interested in a video course that I've made actually about the Danish pronunciation, then go to the comments section. There's a link for the pronunciation course there. Yeah, but ligge is when something is lying still. Yeah, so I could say bogen ligger på bordet. The book is at the table, is lying on the table. And that you spell with an I, just like stille, because it's lying still. Yeah, it's with an I, just like in English. Lægge, on the other hand, is a movement. You are putting something down. And in movement in Danish is called bevægelse. There is an æ like æble, just like the one that is in lægge. Yeah? Lægge is a movement. Jeg lægger bogen på bordet. I'm making the movement, the bevægelse with an æ, that I'm putting the book at the table. Yeah? On the table. Excuse me. So ligge is definitely one that I see often about when Danes are writing. And they even talk about these two words wrong as well. They would use ligge much more than ligge. They would say, jeg lægger lige bogen på bordet. Ligger, that one with an I, but they should say, jeg lægger lige bogen på bordet. So now that you know this, you can correct the Danes. Yeah, it should be fun. Be careful. We don't like to be corrected and we don't like conflict. So be easy. Yeah, that's a cultural thing. Last one I want to mention that Danes make mistakes with or in is more grammatical and has to do with pronunciation as well and listening actually, but definitely grammatical. And that is when Danes forget to put an R at the end of a verb in the present tense. They don't put an R because they can't hear there should be one. Because in the infinitive form, there is no R normally. And it sounds like, or these words where they forget the R sound like the same as in infinitive. I'll give you two examples. Lærer. Lærer is also a teacher, a noun, but let's put that aside. Yeah, now it's about the verb. Lærer, L, æ like æble, R-E, that's the infinitive form of this verb. You add an R and you get the present tense, but the pronunciation is the same. Lærer. Jeg lærer mange ting på min sprogskole. I learn lots of different things at my language school. Yeah? Jeg lærer with an R. So whenever you can put a pronoun, a person, before your verb, you need the present tense if it's about the present tense. Yeah? But you need a tense, you need to add an R if it is the present tense that you are speaking in. Yeah? Whereas the infinitive is only with an E, but it's the same pronunciation. The infinitive you could use, for example, after a modal verb. It could be, jeg kan lære meget på min sprogskole. I can learn a lot at my language school. Yeah, jeg kan, that's the modal verb, kan. Jeg kan lære, only with an E, lære meget på min sprogskole. Jeg kan lære meget på min sprogskole. But lære is only with an E, but you pronounce it just like the one with an R that is in the present tense. And that is why that the Danes also make this mistake. Yeah. So that's one. Another one is høre, also with R's. Yeah, it's a lot to do with R's. Høre in the infinitive form is with an E, H, and then the slashed O, R-E, høre. And then in the present tense, høre. But there is an R at the end, which the Danes often don't put. Yeah? Jeg kan høre dig. Can, again, a modal verb. It could be another one, of course. It could be vil or skal or other modal verbs. Yeah? Jeg kan høre dig. Jeg kan høre dig. Often we reduce. Jeg kan høre dig. Høre only with an E. You have infinitive forms after modal verbs. Yeah? Jeg kan høre dig. Or jeg hører musik. I listen to music. It could be jeg lytter til musik as well. Yeah? But I also could say jeg hører musik. Or jeg hører nogen snakke. I hear some people speak or talk. That would be the present tense, and I would add an R to that one. So H/O-R-E-R. That's the present tense, yeah? Infinitive form only with an E, present tense with an R. But they're pronounced the same way. So that's also a problem to Danes. Yeah, now you know that, and now you can help us remember our own language or have a recap or just learn for the first time. Maybe some Danes might learn this for the first time because they haven't been taught this in school. Not really, not much, yeah? So those were a few examples of mistakes that Danes make in their own language, yeah? And I just want to say briefly here that I have created an audio series with 17 audio files actually. It's called Back on the Horse, to get you back on your horse with Danish if you feel stuck or you need a little bit of guidance. And there is what I call a package with 3 audio files in it, and it's about vocab learning. It's very compact, but you can listen to it anytime you want. It's yours forever. So you can take all the time you want to listen to it, but it has to do with learning new words, learning new vocab in the Danish language. Yeah, just to say that it's there for you. I'll put a direct link for it in the comments, and I'll also put a link for the full series, but you can actually pick and choose. You don't have to purchase the whole series if you only want one specific package. It could also be the one about your learning curve, or what else is there? When you fail, I think there's one called that as well. So, but 17 audio files in total, but they're divided into 9 packages. So you can just pick and choose any package you like, yeah? Look in the comments to see if it's anything for you. Check it out. There is also a free intro to this series, yeah? It's a free intro. It is in every package as well, but it's the same intro, but it's an intro for the whole full series. So you get an idea about what it's about so that you can pick the package or the packages to your liking, yeah, if you don't want the full series. It's called Back on the Horse, and the package about vocabulary is called the vocab or vocab learning. I'm not entirely sure. It's been a long time since I made it, yeah? Go check it out in the comments section. I also just want to briefly here at the end, when it's about learning Danish vocab, to recommend to you a book. And I'm just going to show it to you, and I'm just going to put my hand at the front. So I'm just going to do like this. Politikens visuelle ordbog. So Politiken is a publishing house. Visuelle ordbog means a visual dictionary. And I'm not going to show you the photo in front because of copyrights, and I'm not going to show you the inside of the book either. But it's a book where you can look up lots of different visual topics. So I'm just going to mention, for example, nature. I'm not sure it's called nature, but nature. Here's something about the body, the nervous system. Here is something about rooms and things in a house. There's about, let's see, communication. I can see pictures of phones. There is something about office supplies. It's very thick. There's something about traffic. There are some signs. Well, I'm not sure it's traffic. There's some signs. Here it's about weapons. Here it's about bowl games. I mean, as you can hear, it's very broad. I'm just going to show you how thick it is. It's very heavy. Yeah. I'm just going to recommend that one to you because inside the book, you can look up a topic, a visual topic, and you get different drawings for that topic, and it's very detailed. So there are little lines, and it says, for example, at the exterior of this book, there is a tree, and I can see lines going out from the tree, and I can see that they write Danish first. So if it's about a branch, for example, they would say gren. If it's the trunk of the tree, they would say stamme. If it's just træ, it's tree. Yeah, a tree. But then you get little details on the tree, and you get it in, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 different languages. So you get it in Danish, in English, in French, and I think it's now you get it Danish. Now let's see. You get it in Danish, in English, in German, in French, and in Spanish. Yeah? So all these languages are represented at each little detail, whether it's about nature or office supply or ball games or whatever it is, little details. I think there's also about architecture, details on buildings, what they're called in all those languages. It's really interesting to look into. Of course, you're not going to read it from one end to another. You can sort of look into a topic that you're interested in, but it's so detailed and very interesting and kind of fun too. Like, oh, they call it this, huh? And huh. I mean, borrow it at your local library, Politikens visuelle ordbog, or buy it. Yeah, I've bought it because I find it's fun. Yeah, but it really is in Danish, English, German, French, and Spanish. You get all those languages. So I really recommend that just for the fun of it, or if you really want to be detailed about a certain topic that is visual in some way, yeah? That you can look at visually. Yeah. So this was about Danish vocab, learning Danish vocabulary. Remember that when you learn new words, you get to a certain point in your Danish learning where learning new words is what you do. You have the grammar, it's somewhat okay. You can always, of course, learn a little here and there and some exceptions and so on, but you will get to a level where it's a matter of building on, adding to your vocabulary. And you're never going to be finished doing that. I mean, I'm going to learn English for the rest of my life. It's just a lifelong learning curve for me, yeah? Doesn't stop. So don't expect it to, yeah? Just keep on learning. And remember that when you learn new words, you learn and you learn and you learn, and you'll forget because your brain just can't hold on to all of them. So revise sometimes and use the most important words, that is the most important words to you. Go out and use them because otherwise you're going to forget. I do that in English. I learn a new word and I think, oh, this one is actually one that I need to use quite often. I hold on to it and I try to sort of kick it in different conversations that I have or something that I need to write in order to remember it. Yeah. So when you learn, it's a lot. You keep on learning the rest of your life. Of course, you can't hold on to all of it. That is a normal reaction for your brain. Yeah. That's just normal. Go out, use the word, hold on to the ones that are most important to you and have a little fun with them. Yeah. Learn a word and say, okay, next time I speak in Danish about this or that, I'm going to see if I can use this word. See how it works, yeah? And sometimes you will get a reaction about this word and, oh, maybe you didn't pronounce it right, or maybe you didn't conjugate it right, and so on. But that's just your learning, yeah? That's just something that you need to learn. Build up knowledge about a word that you have learned, about your vocabulary, right? Because it's not just about learning one thing, like, I don't know, in finger, a finger. You need to know, what's it called in the definite singular form? What's it called in the indefinite plural form? What's it called in the definite plural form? How do I use the word? Are there expressions with this word finger? And so on, right? This is just an example, of course, and this is not to demotivate you, like, oh no, I have to know all the forms of a word. But you can do that little by little with different words that you find important, that you are going to use in your life. Yeah? I hope you got something out of this channel, this video, this channel too as well. Like and subscribe to this channel, please. It will help it immensely. And also, if you want to support my work, you can go to Buy Me a Coffee, for example. There's a link in the comments. And I just got left to say, happy Danish learning.